I'm joined by Kyle Balgamase. Welcome, Kyle.
How are you?
Raja Suleiman with Orzhov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations, Brian DeMars. Zach Allen.
I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Pro Tour counter-attack here, Ari Lax.
All right, we're back here, about to start round 7. Chilling in 16th place, 256 person event. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, just got to keep winning. I mean, that's just the reality of these events. You just got to keep playing and keep winning. A lot of people gone from the event. You can see, it feels like maybe half the event has dropped, which makes sense. Once you get to a certain amount of losses early, you're just dead for all the prizes. So better to just continue about your day and do something more productive. But yeah, still liking the deck. It's feeling good. Still a little scared of the blue-red prowess matchup, but outside of that, like where we're at, looks like there's 4 undefeateds left, and X1s go down to 28th place. So a win this round would be pretty big for me. I do believe that some X2s will make the top 8, but I think they need to be X2s that lose in like the last round. That would be my guess. And also the blue-red prowess guy who beat me has lost twice since, which is frustrating because he's kind of crushed my tiebreakers, but it is what it is. Yeah. I think what I need to do is just keep winning. A win this round would be very nice, so let's try and win this one. Alright. Should be starting. Oh, and we won the die roll. We take those. We'll play first. This hand's pretty bad. It's definitely pretty bad. That said, I think it's a keep. It's got lands and spells. I'll be able to cast my stuff. Snoop's one of the best cards in my entire deck. It gives me some good draws. We're on the play, so even though it's a little slow, we're not going to be super far behind at any point. And Sling-Gang plus Kiki's a pretty powerful engine. We'll see how this one goes. I think this is on the outer edge of hands I would like to keep. But I'm going to keep it. I'm going to lead on Delta. These are just better fetches in the deck. They get Mountain. So definitely fetching a tap Blood Crypt here. They both get Swamp, so it's not really even like I'm playing around Blood Moon. Oh, Dredge? Yikes. Don't love playing against Dredge. We cheated a little bit for this matchup, and opponent immediately milled a Dredger, which not great for me, if I'm being honest. Not great. That said, a Harbinger here would be amazing. If we could draw Le Harbinger. Harbinger? Matron. That's almost a Harbinger. It's kind of a Harbinger. Alright, I'm playing the Snoop main. Inquisition on top, that's not really going to do it. What I need to do is get to Harbinger before opponent hits Smiting Helix, which they definitely have a few of those. I mean, that is the case. But this is the type of deck that's not good at interacting with like Kiki copying Sling-Gang a bunch. So that's a real play pattern we have. We'll see where that gets us. I'm hoping they loam here and just kind of are going slow, if you know what I mean. Cathartic Reunion. Oh, that is way far away from loam. Creeping Chill. That's bad. Silver Smoke Ghoul's coming back. And a Narcomoeba. Well, they definitely milled a lot of cards, but they didn't really hit any of the things we're terrified. Oh, no, they hit a Smiting Helix. I lied. So opponent does have a Smiting Helix. Combo's not going to work. That's unfortunate. But it is what it is. I can hit a Harbinger. I get 2 looks at it with whatever's underneath the Inquisition and then fetch with Bloodstained Mire. If Harbinger's on top, we win the game on the spot, which would be strong. It would definitely be strong. Yeah, I really wanted a 4th relic before the event, specifically for this matchup. I'm a little scared of it, but again, they're not great at interacting with my combos, so, you know, if we find a Harbinger, that'd be nice. Kiki. Huh. That's interesting. Opponent doesn't have white mana yet, necessarily, either. Wow. Huh. So, what do I do here? Wow. I mean, alright. I'm going to cast the Inquisition. Hope they don't have a way to cast the Helix. I guess I should look. Okay, they don't necessarily have a way to cast the Helix. Oh, no, they have Loam plus Mire. Although Loam doesn't do it. They have to cast Loam. They just have to cast it. This Helix is not online. Opponent's actually just dead. Yeah, opponent's actually just dead. Unless they draw exactly White Source. Which... yeah, I mean, if they draw exactly White Source, they'll get me. But Forgotten Cave doesn't get there. I think I want to tempt them. I'm going to take the Loam. The idea here is to trick them into dredging Loam so they can't natty draw White Source because it's their only real out. Yeah. We're going to do that and just pass. So the way this works is this combo actually works. I just have to do it in their end step. I can make infinite Snoops. And then... okay. That's scary, but it's not that scary. Yeah, so in their end step, I can make infinite Snoops. And from there, they just die on my turn. Because this exiles at the beginning of the next end step. What happened? Oh, they milled a creepy... okay. Okay. So unless they drew exactly White Source, they're dead. This attack is not enough. I don't see a Conflag. I don't even know if they're playing Conflag anymore. Because of Silver Smoke Ghoul, they might just have Smiting Helix. And I assume this is a Cathartic Reunion. If they hit the rest... no, opponent's just dead here. Yeah, I don't think opponent has outs. Because now I can stop in my upkeep and then just make infinite guys and Sling-Gang. So I just can't go below 8. And they have to have like an insane... yeah, they have to have like an insane dredge. Which they certainly could. Don't get me wrong, that could happen. But they need a bunch of it. And yeah, like, it's not Narcomoebas. I mean, it needs to be, like, very specifically Creeping Chills. And that's 1, so I'm going down to 7. It's only 1, so I go down to 7. Opponent's tapped out. They have Conflag, but they don't have mana to do anything with it. I go down to 7. This puts me down to 4. And opponent dies. So combo paying off. And this is why you see the deck playing combo, because in matchups that are bad, you can just kill them. Yeah, so opponent's going to put me to 3. I guess technically I should play it safe. I'm definitely going to do that. There's no reason not to. I have the Sling-Gang in hand. So just blocking the Silver Smoke is good. I knew they have forgotten, or they could have drawn... no, they just drew 3 Dredgers, so they just don't have anything in hand. It doesn't matter. I mean, they're dead on my upkeep anyway. Yeah, I go to 6. Yeah, so opponent's dead. I just have to fetch on my turn, and then they'll die. Alright, we have the upkeep stopped. That's the important thing. Yeah, opponent's got a million things in play. None of it beats my combo, though. Alright. I'm going to put a stop in my draw step 2 just in case. That doesn't actually do anything, but I'm going to upkeep it. Alright. So I need to make a lot. I probably need about 40 of these, sadly. Not sadly, but I'm going to need about 40 of them. Well, not 40, I guess. I want to make about 30, because they're at 30 life. It would be really stupid to just have a win and then not make enough guys, so I'm going to make enough guys, make sure I kill them. This game is done. So now again, we're hoping to combo. Post-board is going to get a lot harder. They're going to have lightning axes, yeah, a bunch of stuff. But I get to have relics. Yeah. And again, this deck isn't great against combo. So, could be in a D spot. This looks like it's about 30. I guess I'm just going to get 3 stacks of 10 just to be sure. Alright, we have 30. Alright, let's go to draw step. Yep, main. Play my land. Fetch. Red. Oh, well. There you go. So we had the Sling-Gang to kill him. Turns out we didn't need it. That's fine. We'll drain him out. I feel like I'd be really upset right now if I was the opponent. Like he got super lucky and just drew the Sling-Gang on one of the fetches. But obviously they don't know that I just had the Sling-Gang in hand already. So it didn't actually matter at all. It's kind of BM to make me go through it. I guess they're upset that they think I got lucky. Okay. Well, very good. It's game 1 down. We got 3 relics, which is not as much as I would like. I'm going to be honest. But it is what we have, so there we are. I like Unearth in the matchup. Thoughtseize effects on the draw are just okay. I definitely want to go down a couple of them. Tarfire I don't think does anything. Munitions Expert's also mostly bad. I'm going to have 3 Thoughtseizes in. It would be nice to draw the first one, and then after that it doesn't do very much. I don't really think this is a good Ringleader matchup. Ringleader's okay. It can do some things, like, you know, kind of compete with their board, but if I'm trying to compete with Dredge's board, that's just never going to happen, if we're being honest. This is actually a matchup where I really wish I had Chain Whirler. It's one of the ones where it's like, yeah, if Dredge was more popular, I'd have 4 relics and a Chain Whirler, but I don't. So we're working with what we have. But yeah, Chain Whirler would be just awesome in this matchup. So that's pretty unfortunate. But again, alright, this hand has 2 relics. I am never in a million years mulliganing a hand that has 2 relics against Dredge. So there we are. It has mana to cast my spells. It has relic into 2-drop into 3-drop. So yep. This is good. This is quite good. Opponent's on 5, so they're not even necessarily going to have a great start. They probably Dredge mulligans really well, if we're being honest. So I'm not going to say that, you know, it's super unfortunate them to be on 5, because that's just what Dredge does. Dredge mulligans 7s, 6s, even 5s aggressively looking for fast Dredge starts. And that's just part and parcel of the deck. I mean, that's what they do. So again, yeah, you know, they're going to bottom 2 Dredgers and a Dredger and a Narcomoeba or something, right? Alright, hitting the Narcomoeba there is kind of annoying, but not the end of the world by any means. You get to get this Blood Crypt out of their yard. That's pretty strong. I would like it if they didn't have an insane pre... Okay, I almost clicked through my turn. We didn't do that. We're okay. Let's put this relic in play. Eat that land. Stop them from loaming a little bit. Loam is one of their better tools to get back in the game. I mean, hitting like a Dredger off this 2 mil would be really powerful for them. They hit Lightning X Treecorn. So now they have to take a natural draw step. Oh, upkeep, hit my relic. Okay, that's fine. We have another relic specifically for this reason. So now Dredge player's kind of floundering. Yep. We got another relic. It's ready to go. I am going to put in this Reveal Matron and play second relic, and then start attacking the yard. If the Shriekhorn hits something good, I'm going to consider popping relic. Narcomoeba Stinkweed. I really don't want them to have that Stinkweed. I think I'm going to pop the relic here. I don't love it, but I think this is acceptable. It's stopping them from dredging. I get to start getting my engines online, which is where I want to be anyway. I've slowed them down enough. Their first 2 turns, they put a 1/1 in play and given me 4 life, which is just totally fine. Now I get to start looking for combo. Okay, this is probably a Cathartic Reunion. If they also have a Dredger that stinks for me. Okay, so they had a Dredger too. That's pretty unfortunate. Wow, and they hit a lot of very good things. So that's very unfortunate. Wow, okay, well, maybe I wasn't supposed to pop there. I certainly could have waited. We might have thrown this game and like a hand that was just insane against Dredge, but I still don't hate my spot. Huh. So I know their hand is like Dredger. It's 3 Dredgers. That's literally their hand. So I'm not going to cast the Thoughtseize. That would not be a good play. I'm just going to cast my Matron. What is the best thing for me to get here? I think it's just a Snoop. I want to be threatening combo. Chieftain would also be pretty good, if I'm being honest. But I want to be able to threaten combo. So I think we're going to go Snoop and just put it in their mind that combo's coming. I think that's, like, the way this game is played out, I think I'm going to end up needing that, unfortunately. I think they're just going to loam here. Yeah, they're going to loam, get back Forgotten Cave, 2 lands, fetch, Forgotten Cave, dredge loam. But that's not an amazing turn for them. It's just... they're going to Ox. That makes more sense. Yeah, dredging into Ox is ridiculous. I guess I popped that one too early. That's pretty unfortunate. Well, 1 Conflag's down, so that is good for me. Yeah, this card is messed up. But Lightning Axe also down. Oh my god, 2 Creeping Chills, so they've hit 3 Creeping Chills. If we could not hit the... Okay, they didn't hit the Silver Smote, so the Amalgams don't come back this turn? No, wait. Okay, yeah, so it never triggered. So they're not coming back this turn. Opponent's going to poke me for 1, which is scary, certainly. But we're not... It's not the end of the world right now. Oh boy. All right. What is our best line here? What do I think opponent's going to do this turn? I think it's pretty likely they dredge Thug and then Conflag. They're not going to be able to Conflag. They would be able to Conflag my whole board if I played Sling-Gang. If I go Snoop plus Cratermaker, they then cannot Conflag my whole board. Which I think is reasonable. The question is, what do I want to do? If they Conflag my whole board, that's their whole turn. Essentially, they get a dredge, but that's fine. And then I Sling-Gang. Snoop makes them Conflag. Like, they are going to 100% spend their turn Conflagging if I play Snoop. I think. Which I don't actually even really want that much to happen. How dead am I if I play Ringleader? I think Ringleader is not a good play here. Yeah. I don't love Ringleader here. I think I just like Snoop plus Crater Maker. That way I get to have a blocker, and then I can start enacting my fair game plan, which is going to be bad eventually, but for now, I'm in an okay spot. I mean, certainly not a great spot. Opponents at 29 life because they've gotten 3 free drains out of their graveyard. But okay, that was a pretty bad dredge for them, all things considered. And they need to kill Snoop here. So I imagine they're just going to conflag, discard their entire hand, kill these two. Seems like the easy play. I'm going to block the Ox with the Matron, and then I have a Sling-Gang next turn. So that's probably pretty good. They might just conflag and kill this and save something, but I still don't think that's what's going to happen. I would imagine they just discard their whole hand here. That would be my guess. Oh, they're going to combat first. Okay, that makes sense. I am definitely blocking. Yeah, if I don't block, I'm actually dead to the conflag. So I have to make this block. Go to 9. If they let me untap, they might die. I mean, that would be a pretty big error on their part. I don't think there's any world where they do that. And now I get to start kind of clawing back in with Sling-Gang. It's not really going to be enough, if we're being honest. I'm going to need some good plays after that, but I'm hitting land drops, which is good. Yeah. We are hitting land drops. That's important. Are you going to give me a turn with a Snoop in play? I can't imagine an opponent does that. There's just no way. They have to just be deciding, do they want to kill the Crater Maker or not, which I guess is kind of a tough decision. I would definitely kill the Crater Maker. I don't really see a reason not to do that. But maybe they don't. Okay, yeah, they're conflagging. I mean, that just makes sense. I would too. And again, you see what I mean. Like, I don't even think I'm favored in this game right now. An opponent was on a mold of 5. Okay, so they just killed 2. They just killed the Snoop. That makes some sense to me. That does mean that 2 conflags are gone, though. Right? Oh, no. Oh, they only had 1 conflag. Okay, so they still have another conflag to draw to, presumably. I don't actually know their list, but I would guess that they have another conflag to draw to. And their hand right now is like Loam something. I think this is a good turn to play the Sling-Man. And I'm just going to leave up Shock with Crater Maker. The Drain Out is not really realistic. Sling-Gang's just here to buy time at this point, which hopefully the Goblin Ringleader will help assemble. Oh my god, another Ox. This Ox card, man. Very, very annoying. And I assume that's what we're doing. We're going to hit this Ox. I mean, I am just interested in draining. I think realistically one of my best outs for this game is to deck them, which if they dredge a decent amount could certainly happen. Yeah, this is going to get really tough here in a second. This is going to get really tough. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming back here, too. We are essentially going to get to see how they board it. Okay, that's all 4 Creeping Chills. They're all gone. And I don't see another conflag, so I am presumably safe from that. Holy cow. Dredge is such a nightmare for creature decks. I think maybe popping that relic was a mistake. Unclear, I think. Regardless, I need to focus on staying alive. So what I'm going to do is block here. Hit OK. And then I'm going to sack this to shoot that. Yep. This is way too many amalgam triggers. Opponent's down to 3 cards in library, though. So I just have to live 3 turns. Which, a little sketchy. Not going to lie. There's a lot happening on the board here for opponent. Well, let's start the turn off with a Ringleader. See where that gets us. I I hit a Snoop. So I think I have a chance. Again, not a good one, but I do think it's a chance. And we're drawing what's a pretty bad card. But we're at 5. I'm going to go to 9. I can block, take 7. So if they don't have anything, I get to untap. They can't really dredge. They kind of just have to natural draw. I get a bunch of looks at Harbinger to win. Matron would also win. That's if Snoop stays alive, which is far from a given, but is possible considering they had 3 dredgers in their hand and they're drawing naturally. The question is, do they dredge here? Okay, I assume this is just a loam. I think that was part of what they dredged last turn. None of their... I mean, it seems like they're just building up another conflag, which is fine, but doesn't necessarily answer Snoop. So I'm going to get one shot here to find a combo, presumably. I may not. But I think that's what's going to happen. It seems like they cut all the life gain stuff. It seems like Smiting Helix... No, those are Amalgam triggers. Yeah, I don't see any Smiting Helix or Silver Smotes. And I see 3 Lightning Axes and 1 Conflag. Okay. Alright, so blocks will be as so. Block. I'm going to hit OK. And then before damage, I'm going to drain you, sack that. Drain you, sack that. Drain you, sack that. Drain you, sack himself. Yep. So we've gone down to 2. Alright, we get a turn. We need to find a Matron or a Harbinger. Let's go! That's how it's done! And we have exactly enough to tap. That's so good. We go to 1. If opponent has it, oh, it doesn't work. I have to tap correctly. That is the Harbinger. Let's go ahead and lay Kiki Jiki on top of the library. Alright, I want Kiki Jiki. Alright, so this is an example of getting very lucky, but we also played to our outs. We screwed up a little bit with the relics. I mean, I'm not going to say we just punted with the relics. I think we played them okay. But I think I popped the second one a little early. The first one, I was always going to play it, and if they had the Nature's Claim, they were always going to get it. So that's just what that is. I think I popped the second one a little early, which, you know, my mistake. I haven't played against this version of Dredge very often yet. But it's fine. I think we played the rest of the game very well. We got a little bit fortunate on some of their dredges, but they also got to Ox a lot. It's possible they boarded wrong too, cutting Smiting Helix. I don't think I would cut Smiting Helix against Goblins where all you're worried about is Snoop. So we'll see. But again, if they have an Axe in their hand, which I'm pretty sure they do not. I think their hand is 3 lands and 2 dredgers. But if they had an Axe in their hand, this is still broken up. I haven't won yet, but we did everything we possibly could to find a W. We're going to take our sweet time and get the full W here. I do 28 damage. So I think I have exactly 28 here, but it'll be better safe than sorry, I think. Just make sure I have 30 in the 3 stacks. I think that's just a reasonable... Maybe it's a little show-offy, but I don't know. Okay. Put a Sling-Gang Lieutenant on top of the library. Alright, so excuse my clicking. This is going to take a second, but at this point, the combo is lethal. Opponent cannot kill anything in response. If they had, like, Blue Land Thought Scour, no, there just is nothing. This is all instant speed one at a time, so they're just going to die. It's kind of rude they're making me go through it when it's dead on board and they have no interaction, but it is what it is. I would 100% concede to people here. I have streams of me doing that to prove that I do that, but mostly it's because, you know, I don't. Some people have trouble clicking a lot. It's, you know, some people have carpal tunnel syndrome. There are, you know, some amount of people have disabilities where they don't click very fast, and I think it's just extremely rude to make someone go through this when you're dead on board. But also, I think it's bad for viewers. And Magic is a game, especially online at high events like this, where there are a lot of viewers and nobody really wants to see this. So, but it's also in the opponent's right to concede or to, you know, play it out and make sure that I know what I'm doing. Given that I have drained them 30 times and I'm showing that I know exactly how the combo works, I think I would have conceded before this, but whatever. They might be trying to time me out, which, I mean, I have 9 minutes left to drain them 5 times. I think I'll get there. And that is how they say that. Let's go. 2-0 over Dredge with the Gobos. That's what's up. 6-1. We're out here crushing. Looks like we have 16 X1s left. So after this round, should be 9. And then, yeah, I mean, some of my X2s are going to make it. It could be me. I have decent breakers. I definitely do. I want to win this round, though. I think that gives me a really good shot. Okay, we won the die roll. Aether Vial. Ooh, this is a mulligan. That stinks. Okay, now we have the Aether Vial. I think this hand's a keep. It's not a great hand, but we're a few draws away from it being awesome. We do have the Torrent Aether Vial, which is strong. Pretty clear. Bottom of the Blood Crypt here, I think. Yeah, I mean, we do have a Kiki, so getting up to 5 is good, but yeah, this hand just, I think it's pretty clear bottom of the Blood Crypt. I don't want to draw a 5th land in my next draw step, so would rather have that be the 4th. Alright, opponent's also on a mulligan, so not the end of the world for me here. Opponent's on 5, okay. Yeah, a lot of stuff happening here. Could be Tron. You know, I would not be shocked to see E-Tron here. We haven't seen it yet. It was one of the talks of the format coming in. Could certainly be that. We'll find out, though. We will find out. I'm putting the Levial in play, and we're going to pass the turn. If it is Tron, having the Crater Maker will be very nice. Okay, it is Tron. Okay, and it's Green Tron, which is not the Tron I want to play against, especially without access to the combo already. If I had the combo, I would say I don't think I can lose. Given that I don't have either part, don't love my odds, but we have Crater Maker, which is pretty good. I'm going to put him in play. All the pressure is going to matter here. Opponent's on 5. They probably have Tron and a payoff, which is bad for me, obviously. But if they played not a Tron land here, that'd be amazing. Like if they whiff on an Ancient Stirrings they were kind of counting on, that would be quite good for me. I think the likelihood of this is not high. I'm expecting other Tron... Oh, Chromatic Sphere. Oh, wow. Oh, no, they have the Tron land. Okay. That's annoying. If this is an Ancient Stirrings, that would also be annoying. Okay, well, hoping for not Tower. They haven't just slammed tower. That's good for me. Presumably there's some sort of choice happening here. Expedition map. Okay. Okay. So I get an extra turn to kind of get ready. Would really like to have a good draw here. A matron would be amazing. Set me up to have a chance to win here. Munitions expert was not amazing. That was very far away from being amazing. It does do something, but not ideally what we were looking for there. So now we're in a tough spot where we don't even really get to capitalize on opponent having a slower draw here. If they don't have a third land, which is possible that they don't, this is a pretty land-light deck, I will blow up the expedition map with this Crater Maker. They probably do. We'll see. I do think there's a pretty good chance I just play the munitions expert and just keep beating with it. Depending on what opponent does. Again, I would really, really, really like to draw land next turn for the ringleader. Or something along those lines. But let's see what opponent has here. I'm hoping that their hand is kind of packed with threats and they just have to go expedition map pass. I mean, that's kind of the dream for me here. It's the best case scenario. Oh, they just have Tron. Alright, well, I guess it's like that sometimes. I guess it's like that sometimes, huh? The Great Creator. Well, we can blow that up. Really not loving my spot here. Really not loving it. Them getting Tron and having a way to get like a Worm Coil Engine or something along those lines is going to be real tough for us. Yeah, don't love this. Really need to draw land next turn to really have any shot at all, if we're being honest. So this is an interesting spot. I can kill the Walking Ballista, which isn't crazy. Yeah, I don't think that's crazy. I think I'm in a spot where I need to pray to draw land, honestly. That's what it feels like to me. We are really hoping for a land here. So I'm going to go black, red. I'm going to play the munitions expert. I think I hit the ballista. That's just going to keep getting worse for me. They'll ping my munitions expert. Yep. Alright, that's all pretty bad, for being honest. Okay. So now the question is, do I just blow up Karn now and get access to my vial? I think I need to, and I just don't like it. But I think I need to make this play. And really hope I draw a land here. Or something that lets me... Land would be great, come on. Thoughtseize. That's a disaster, basically. I mean, I can take a threat out of their hand, so not the actual end of the world, but yeah, I mean, certainly not good. Alright, O-Stone would be good against me. I'm going to take that. They basically get 2 fresh cards next turn, and then we'll see from there. I could have left the O-Stone, but O-Stone's really good against my strategy. I don't want them to have access to that. I'm going to let them have their fresh draws. You got to kind of hope they whiff. I mean, that's just where we're at. It's not super likely, but it's the reality of my situation at the moment. Crater Maker does give us a lot of play in this matchup, which is nice. It's certainly nice. I really need this Aether Vial, too. I don't think I can win if they just, like, Karn my Vial. I'm going to die. They can't play Karn with what I know. Like, if their hand is this, Karn is some other threat. They can't cast Karn. No, I lied. They could just crack the map and get a tower and cast Karn. Okay, so if they drew Karn, I'm way dead. That would be horrible for me. Either Karn, actually. They're both really bad. Opponent's in the tank, which I get. The life gain stuff, I'm not as concerned about. It's mostly the Karns. They scare me. I don't have a way to stop Tron, so if, you know, they just are going to have Tron the rest of the game. That's just the reality of the situation. I also cut my Damping Sphere. I've been playing 3 Damping Spheres almost the entire time I tested this deck, and I cut one of them because I thought Tron was on the on a downswing. I thought we were going to see a lot more E-Tron than Big Tron. So, yeah, I mean, it's where I'm at. If this is Tower Karn, we're probably dead. Blast Zone? Oh, Blast Zone's also really bad. Well, now I need to draw land. Yeah, definitely need to draw land now. Okay. I think land would get me back into this game if I could go runner. I still wouldn't love my odds, but I think it would get me back into this game. Land. Oh, 4-drop, that kills me. I think I could have won if that Vial just stayed in play. Having to pass here is just a disaster. You know, we bottomed the land, and I still think that was right, given just how the game went and like what I knew at the time. Obviously, in hindsight, it's not good for me, but... Alright, land, come on. Matron, okay. Not the best, but definitely a spell I can cast. Opponent's not done anything yet, so it's possible they're flooding. It is possible they're flooding. We need to start trying to assemble the combo. I'm going to get a Harbinger, because it's less likely I find it off Ringleader. I need to draw a land next turn for Ringleader. That's where we're at. And I need to hope opponent just keeps whiffing. And I'm counting cards like Wormcoil Engine as a whiff. Okay? Land, please. Okay, that's a land. We have a shot. It's not a good shot, but it's a shot. Oh, wow. We hit 4 things. Well, that was good. We have a shot. Opponent doesn't have a threat yet, but the problem is they also have a Sanctum of Ugin, so the first threat they find is really 2, which is bad for us. Like, really bad for us. But we've set up to kill them in 2 turns. If they just keep whiffing, we have a shot. Okay. Okay. I think we're going to get black mana here. Yeah. I'm playing Snoop. I need to fade one more draw step, and I think we'll be in a good spot. I'm also doing not an insignificant amount of damage at this point. So it's possible I win with damage. I'm going to get Chiefed in here. I think it's the best grab. We have another Matron on top of our library. That's worse than a land, but acceptable. Opponent hasn't played any life gain stuff. It's possible also that they have green spells in hand. That would make sense because they don't have green mana. So like a Thrag Tusk. Okay, if they didn't hit this turn, okay, they're dead. That's a big dub. They could have a Dismember. It would not be crazy to see them have a Dismember here. But I'm certainly not going to play around it. Use Harbinger's ability. Yes, I would like to put Kiki Jiki on top of the library. Well, this looks like a win, and it is fortuitous. The Tron opponent had some good draws and then just bricked off 4 turns in a row. And honestly, I mean, that was what we needed. We had to get a little lucky, and we did, so we'll take it. But, whew, that was a close one. Heart's still pounding from that. And I get some good cards post. I mean, I get 2 Damping Spheres. That's fine. I don't really get much more than that, but, I mean, that's one of the best cards in the matchup. So, that's good. Alright, I think I have enough here. Let's lay Sling-Gang on top. Right there. Alright, they conceded. I appreciate that from Hanno Lee. I appreciate that concession. We'll shut that out. I kind of talked down on the last opponent for that and said I didn't really appreciate, how they did that, and this opponent did concede, and I really do appreciate that, actually. So Tarfire is just, I'm going to be straight up, it's awful. I like the Trash Man. I'm going to bring in the Trash Man. This is not a very good Mog War Marshal matchup, so I think this is what we're going to do. There is a world where I want Unearth. I'll bring in Unearth, actually. I think Unearth is fine. I could cut a Sling-Gang. I kind of like Sling-Gang as just a good out to Wormcoil engine, plus it's just part of the combo. I really don't want to shave any combo pieces here, and realistically, all of these are like pseudo combo pieces, so I could cut a Ringleader. I don't really want to do that. I'm just going to cut the other Mog War Marshal. This is not really a Mog War Marshal matchup. I could cut one of the Munitions Expert, but Munitions Expert can actually kill a Karn if it minuses on something, or the 4-mana Karn, both totally viable. So I'm going to keep it. But yeah, and this is not good for Ringleader post board. I am way down on Goblin count. Like, none of these are Goblins. That's 33, 35. So I only have 25 Goblins in my deck. So Snoop and Ringleader are going to be bad in terms of generating value. So we're going to have to hope to get a little lucky on them. We still can, certainly, but that's where we're at. I think the Goblins, some of the Goblins are just too bad for this matchup. And, when you go down on Goblins, like, I definitely don't want to bring the other Ringleader. I think just having 2 is enough to get enough value against Tron, if that makes sense. Alright, looks like opponent's done sideboarding. They're on the play this time. Tron on the play is scary. Oh my god, we have the Damping Sphere, a Vial, and multiple Thoughtseizes and no lands. This hand would be so incredible if, like, I just had 2 lands. Oh, that hurts. Alright, we got a ship. Oh my god, the Damping Spheres are mocking me. Just absolutely no lands. We've had Damping Sphere twice, and we only have 2 of them, which is just really tough. Okay, no red mana, but a Damping Sphere. So, certainly going to keep... I'm going to bottom these 2 cards. Or no black mana, apologies. Drawing a black source off the top of the deck would be amazing here. That's what we're praying for. Just praying for a black source. Turn 1 black source. Let's go. Black source. Deck, please. 5 drop. That's not black source. It's very much not a black source. That is unfortunate. Oh boy, that is tough. That's real tough. Well, we have the Damping Sphere, which is going to matter a lot. It's really good against Tron. I'll say that much. That said, black source instead of drawing 5 drop there would have been ideal. It's not what we drew, but it's where we're at. Yeah, Tron can certainly beat this card. It's not like they can't. It's just, yeah, like they put an Ugin in their hand here. They're going to, like, they get a little resource intensive and then have a hard time killing it, if that makes sense. Map is really good for them, though, obviously. I would kill Black Source. Okay, that's good. That's good. It was a very good draw. I'm going to play my map, or my Damping Sphere, They certainly could have a way to beat this. They could get a Forest here and Nature's Claim it. Nature's Claim is not a card you necessarily want in your deck post board, though. So I'm going to get to Thoughtseize next turn. If we draw land, I think we are favored. Obviously, we have to draw land, but if we did, I do think we're favored. They got Blast Zone. That makes sense. It's going to take them a little bit to get that up and running, though. Okay, Matron. How do I feel about Matron? This is tough. I'm not, like... If I didn't have... The Damning Sphere is actually stopping me. So each spell I have to pay one more. So I can't go like Matron this turn, the next turn Thoughtseize plus Cratermaker, which is what I would do if I didn't have the Damping Sphere. I think I need to kind of pray to get lucky and rip a land here. I think that's where I'm at. I want to take, yeah, Karn the Great Creator here. And just kind of turn off their engine for the turn. And, yeah, I mean, they're going to be able to tap the Blast Zone, get that all set up and going. And, yeah, that's going to be bad for me. That's the reality of the situation. But I could maybe beat some of the stuff happening here. Unclear. Probably not, realistically. I can't even put a Snoop in play because Blast Zone kills it, obviously, so that's tough. Okay, they have a Chromatic Sphere, so their hand is Karn Ugin, which is pretty bad for me. Land would be nice. Come on, land. Trash Man. Oh, he would be good if I could cast him. I mean, obviously, but yeah. Still not insane, but better than many things, I guess you'd say. So my Dampened Sphere is going away next turn. That's going to be pretty bad for me. I think I'm just priced in to getting Cratermaker. It's not ideal, but I think that's just where I am at. Yeah, Blast Zone's really annoying out of Tron. Just giving him a like catch-all to all the hate cards for it. I could be playing a Blood Moon, but Blood Moon is like very much not good in this deck. It's not really where you want to be. So, I think it's fine. Now, opponent doesn't necessarily have a good follow-up this turn. They might. They might be able to go second tower, pop Blast Zone. No. Oh, that's interesting. They didn't even crack map. I don't think I really agree with that. Thoughtseize. Okay, that's actually not the worst for me. It's not good. I don't think I'm in a good spot at all, but it's not the worst. It's giving me some amount of game here to maybe at some point draw a land. Yeah, this mold of 5 is really hurt. Okay, they have an O-Stone. They just have 20 things that beat me. That's tough. That's not where you want to be generally. Gonna need to pull this one out of thin air, I guess, is a good way to put it. Gonna need to do that. Another Damping Sphere would be pretty good if I drew my second one. Probably not gonna be able to do that, but it would be good if I did. Certainly it would be good if I did. We also have seen a lot of the opponent's cards, and they're really soft to combo. So if I can, like, Thoughtseize in a turn 3 of next game, they just don't interact with that at all. So that's some percentage of hands I'm looking for is just a quick combo. And then any hand with Damping Sphere I'm probably going to keep. So those would all be pretty good. I wonder what opponent does here. I don't think I can beat basically any of the cards in their hand except the Expedition map I could maybe beat. Yeah, this feels like a play Ugin turn, if I've ever seen one. I would definitely just get another tower here, play Ugin. Make me Crater make it. Then I'm just going to be soft to a lot of the stuff they have, so... Okay, they played Expedition map. Wasn't expecting that. I guess they want to get value by getting Sanctum of the Spirit Dragon, or Sanctum of Ugin, I think it is. Yeah, okay, this does make sense to them. They're pretty protected from a lot of the stuff I could do. I think my outs this game are really low. I think realistically, if I'm winning, it's... No, Oathstone just beats everything. Yeah, I'm just going to have to play through all the hate. I mean, that's just where I'm at. Vile. That's way worse than a land. Okay. Well. I'm going to put my Vile in play. I don't really have a better play, so we're going to do it. I'm still setting up to lose horribly here to this Ugin, which is unfortunate. But it is where we're at. Yeah, Trashmaster there would have been good. I could have sacked the Matron to kill the O-Stone. Then they Ugin plus, and I can Crater Maker kill the Ugin. Then I just have to deal with what they get out of Sanctum of Ugin, which, again, not great for me, but at least beatable, I guess. As it stands, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm beating here. Probably not very much, if I'm being honest. Okay. Yep. Sack the land, okay. But, I mean, opponent's seen a pretty decent portion of their deck, and I still don't see a spot removal spell. I would bet they have, like, 2 Dismembers, which makes them really soft to the combo game 3, so, I mean, I know you shouldn't count this as a loss yet, but I don't think my odds of beating an Ugin here are particularly high. Well, I can beat the Ugin. My odds of beating Ulamog are particularly high. I think I'm almost 0% to that card. That's going to be okay, though. We'll deal with it. Alright. Can we draw a land ever? No, 4-drop. Was just thinking to myself, hey, you know, if we drew a 4-drop, you know what, I'm just going to concede. I can kill the Ugin, that's cool, but I'm getting Ulamog next turn, losing, presumably, these 2 things. I'm sitting on 2 lands with all 4-drops in hand. It's just not going to happen. I'm just going to try and get a better hand. The two 7s with Damping Sphere, losing both of them is pretty tough, but again, opponents basically just cold to my combo, and they have to mold a Tron, so it's even less likely that they get to have a Dismember in a hand with Tron. I like my odds in Game 3. We'll see what happens. We need a good hand. Those hands were all pretty subpar, and obviously you saw that there. I just never drew a 4th land. That's tough. There were a few spots in that game where I think if I drew a 4th land, I had a shot. It was never great, but I think I had a shot. As it stands, didn't quite work out. I do kind of wish these were Blood Moons now. Turn off Blast Zone. I think that's a relevant thing, but again, I just have some nutty draws that can just kill them super quick, so we're kind of counting towards that. Kind of playing towards that. Alright, come on, busted hand. Here you go. Exactly what I asked for. Thoughtseize into turn 3 combo. And we don't think they can beat this, especially through a Thoughtseize. So, you know, maybe they have the way, but they're dead on turn 3. They are just 100% dead on turn 3. And honestly, this is why you play this deck. It's why I've been interested in it, is that you can play a grindy game against fair decks, and then against decks like Tron that are just trying to go way over the top of you, Thoughtseize into you're dead on turn 3, good luck. Okay. So Walking Ballista is not even going to stop the combo. But honestly, I think I'm supposed to take their redraw here. Yeah, I think I take the redraw here. They can play a Walking Ballista for 2, and it's just not going to stop it. The rest of their hand just doesn't matter against what I'm doing. They can't even cast the Sylvan Scrying, necessarily. I mean, maybe they could, but they probably can't. Alright, I'm going to play the Blackcleave Cliffs. Drawing a vial. So opponent has 2 blind draw steps they hit a 2 of, maybe a 3 of in their 75. And if they didn't hit, that's it. Yeah, that's a walking... Oh, Walking Ballista does break up the combo. I'm so stupid. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. Why did I take the Ballista? No. That's just so bad on my part. What am I doing? I keep forgetting this thing's a 1-1. Well, here's what we can do. Their hand doesn't necessarily beat Harbinger on top. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily beat that. I can pass. We're going to put Kiki on top and just pass. And then in their end step, I can make infinite snoops. So we've played this like a monkey and possibly just threw away a chance to top 8 a modern event. But we have a chance to make up for it and get out of this alive, provided opponents like 2 cards aren't exactly blind drawn 3rd Tron piece in like Karn or something, which would beat us. But this is what we have. I mean, we're going to make the play we have. That's just the reality of the situation. And if they don't shoot now, if they do shoot now, I get to drain, which is, I guess, interesting. If they don't shoot now, if at some point they do shoot, they're just going to die. So opponent's in kind of a tough spot here. God, I feel so stupid. This sucks. This sucks. Just not even think. For whatever reason, I just always forget that Harbinger's a 2-1 instead of a 2-2. I've done this so many times. Like, even recording videos, I have just done this so many times. And it's really bad, but that's, that's what I have done a few times. So now we're just going to pass. If they shoot at any point here, they die. They are just dead. And if Snoop makes it into their end step, they're also just dead. Natty Tronland here would also probably beat me. Okay, Blast Zone doesn't do it. Blast Zone is far from doing it. And now we're in the end step. Okay. So now a Dismember beats me, but basically nothing else will. Alright, I'm going to put a stop in my upkeep just in case. There's a world where I want to do something with that. No reason not to have a stop. Just consider what's happening. So I want to make at least 20. I can't think of any outs they have now that they've let it go on this far. In case I draw a Sling-Gang or something, then I just have the auto out. I know what they're playing towards here is they think that they can stop the Harbinger, but I don't think they realize that my Snoops will last until my attack step next turn. I am happy with the number of gobos I have created. I'm going to target Harbinger on the next one. Yep, okay, well now I don't even need to, so that's nice. Okay, nothing on top of the library there, that's great. I'm just gonna get a Swamp. Chieftain. Okay. I'll cast it. Let's go! Let's go! Whew! That's a big W. That is a big W. So look at that. Played like a buffoon, although, given how that played out, taking their redraw might have been correct. Like, we stopped them from having Tron, and Ballista just didn't break up the combo, like you saw there. They needed another piece of interaction to actually kill Snoop. So there is a world where that play was still right, even though it felt really wrong when I just realized my thing was a 2-1. I think there's a world where that was still right. So, you know, hard to complain. We got the W. You know, we'll take it. We'll see. We'll see what happens next round, but I think I'm in a really good spot. You know, after this round, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 X1s like I thought. And presumably 4 of them play each other. One person gets paired down, so there's either going to be... And if this guy wins, then there's only like a couple X1s left. It's going to be anywhere from 3 to 5 X1s left after this round. This guy has to get paired down, LSN. So anywhere from 3 to 5 X1s after this round. So that means something like 4 X2s make it, and it's pretty likely it's one of the people that lose in the last round just based on breakers, although that's not something you want to count on, so I still need to win the next round to guarantee it. But we'll see what happens. Alright, we're back. Going into round 9. I am sitting in 5th place. I'm 7-1. I definitely have a win in for top 8, but I need to win. I do not want to count on breakers. I could sneak in if I finish X2. It is possible. But that's more of a, you got to play your best this round, hope, and then maybe you get lucky, cross your fingers type scenario. So I want to win. I want to take variance out of my own future, I guess, and just lock it up. Yeah, so that is what we're hoping for. We'll see what happens here. Again, it would be... Can we dodge Blue-Red Prowess one time, please? I would very much appreciate that. If I could dodge the Blue-Red Prowesses. That would be great. I never got paired against LSN, so I'm not gonna have the best breakers in the event. I am in 5th place though, and I have better breakers than 4 of the X1s, so that's not terrible. I mean, obviously, I'm hoping the rest of the people I played against won too, so I'm kind of counting on all of them in terms of breakers. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Any X1 that wins is for sure in. X1 just locks you out. This is the last round, so see what happens with that. But I like where I'm at right now. Just gotta play this round. Come on, let's win this die roll. One die roll, Aether Vial opening hand, please. Yes? No? Please? Please? Won the die roll. Playing against Mekritol, who is one of the last undefeateds. Probably a pretty good player. This hand is definitely medium. But I have interaction. I'm on the play. I'm going to keep. Yep. Oh, I don't want to stop in my upkeep here. I'm going to go ahead and Inquisition of Kozilek them. Alright, opponent has Mana Leak and Snapcaster Mage. So, I'm going to take the Mana Leak, or the Snapcaster Mage. The Mana Leak doesn't do anything because I have a Cavern. So, it's just never going to have any targets at all. And this is a blue deck, so grind them out plan. That's where we're at. I mean, could opponent you know, Field of Ruin my Cavern of Souls, certainly. But, in fact, they definitely will. Maybe I was supposed to take the Mana Leak. Oh, no, because then my thing resolves. Alright. I do think it's overwhelmingly likely here that they are going to Field of Ruin and stop me from drawing the card this is tutoring for. But that's honestly okay. It's not the end of the world by any means. I definitely want to get a... No, where is it? Ringleader. That's what I'm looking for. I mean, they're going to Field of Ruin and stop me from drawing Ringleader. But that also means my Sling-Gang resolves. I get to get in for 2. From what we know of their hand so far... Yep, okay. Well, they can counter my next play. Sling-Gang's in, though. Having a Sling-Gang in play is good for me. I would have, you know, loved to have taken... Like, I couldn't have really done anything about this Field of Ruin. I could have taken Mana Leak, I guess. Just left them with a Snapcaster. The Snapcaster is better than the Mana Leak. And we can always draw another Cavern. And we can start playing around Mana... Like, you know, this turn we get to play our 4-drop. They can't stop it, necessarily. I think I get red here. I already have enough black mana, so... Fine to get that, I think. Ooh, another Harbinger. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll take it. Combo's offline for the rest of the game now that I have this Harbinger. I mean, I could draw something else next turn and then combo wouldn't be offline, but combo's probably offline the rest of the game. That's fine. And now if they start tapping out, we need to, you know, playing around Mana Leak is something you can certainly do. And opponent's going to start losing life pretty quick here. I mean, that's the reality. Ooh, Matron's a very good draw. Let's go to combat. See what opponent does. Path. Okay, I could drain here. I think it's going to be better to take the land, given that I have a Matron. So let's do that. I'll get a Swamp. And then I'm going to play the Harbinger. I imagine this gets Mana Leaked. That would be my guess. Yep, okay. So combo's offline, but we have a Matron next turn to go get something good. If we draw land, we'll be in a good spot. I imagine they're going to play it to Teferi. That's my guess. If they play it to Teferi, we have Munitions Expert to hit it for 4. We know they have Prairie Stream in hand. Mana Leak's gone. Mystic Sanctuary, okay. Getting Path to Exile, okay. That makes sense. They're going to plus get the Path. That all makes sense to me. I'm going to do this before they can do anything else and stop it. Get to put Teferi down to 1, be able to kill it with a token, which is good. Get to take their card draw engine offline, which is strong. Okay, so there is just no chance that... I'm going to attack the Teferi. I can't let the Teferi live, but I am going to attack them with the rest. This game feels very winnable to me. And now they can't stop Matron plus Ringleader, which, I mean, if they have a sweeper here, that's going to be really bad for me. What's happening? Conceded from the match? What? Wow. Okay. We take those. We definitely take those. I want the extra Ringleader and I want my boils. What's the cut? What are we cutting? think Crater Maker is going to be pretty bad. I'm going to cut a Crater Maker. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to cut the Crater Maker. I could have Unearth. Unearth is a totally reasonable card to have against them, but I don't love it for the Path to Exile decks. That's not really why it's here. I certainly could board it in. You know, maybe that's a better play. Just have a cycle when I need it. We'll think about it for game 3. It's not good against the Path to Exile portion of the deck, or like the Aether Gust, or the Celestial Purge, any of that, but it is really good against... oh, this hand's excellent. This hand is excellent. So, I'm going to lead on Aether Vial. I think that's the best play here. And next turn I get to go double Thoughtseize into a Thoughtseize the next turn too. Aether Vial is going to make stuff uncounterable. I want to make sure I take Teferi out of their hands so my Vial doesn't get bounced. Getting an Aether Vial bounced isn't great. Don't feel good. But yeah, I mean, this is the exact hand you want. I got my card draw engine. I've drawn a bunch of non-goblins already, which is important from the perspective that... So they have Vendilion Click, Celestial Purge, Supreme Verdict. So I'm going to take the Vendilion Click. The rest of their hand doesn't do anything. And I think... I want to conceal the Auntie's Hovel until the turn I actually play Ringleader. I don't think my life total matters that much, but I am Thoughtseizing 3 times. Yeah, I'm just going to get a Blood Crypt tapped. I think that's a fine thing to wait on. Just make sure I have good mana. Make sure I'm leaving basics in my deck for Path to Exile's purposes. I like to use it, yep. Oh, Matron's a very good draw. Okay, I'm going to take Supreme Verdict. Yeah, so this 1/4 removal is not what's going to beat me. Honestly... No, I'm just going to Thoughtseize. They're going to be able to Verdict me at some point, but I'm never going to be able to stop it. So Thoughtseizing now and taking the Purge, I think, is just totally acceptable. Yeah, and now opponent's left with basically nothing. I'm just not going to reveal anything here. Like, that could come to play untapped if I needed it to, but there's just... I'm not doing anything with it, so there's no reason to. Alright, we took the opponent's Vendilion Click. That was the thing that was going to pressure us, so we're not really concerned about pressure. Although, our deck's pretty good at beating a Click if it came down to that. They're not even that close to using the Mystic Sanctuary because of Colonnade. So I know their hand is Path, Mystic Sanctuary, and Blank. That's what I know. I would like to use Aether Vial's ability, yes. Alright. I am going to activate Aether Vial. We're going to go ahead and get Ringleader. We're just going to start jamming Ringleaders. That's the play. And we're going to cast Ringleader. And if they drew a counterspell, good on them. I'm not playing around it, though. Cryptic would be gross. Okay, they didn't have Cryptic. That's good. Okay. That didn't hit that good, but it's fine. We bottomed some stuff we didn't really want. I get to bash. That's all fine. That is all fine. And basically, our hand's just good. It's in a good spot. Alright, so we know they're going to draw Supreme Verdict next turn. I think that's obvious. Yep. So their hand is path, blank, blank, and they have Supreme Verdict on top. And that's fine. That is fine. Alright, so I'm going to tick Vial up. I want my 4-drops to hit. It's a land. That's fine. Let's go to combat. I want to attack in case they have Cryptic. They could do like tap your team counter, which they probably wouldn't do, but they could. There's no reason to give them that option, if that makes sense. Alright, we're going to play another Matron. Just playing value cards to the board. When they path, it's fine. I'm going to get the other ringleader here. Play my land tapped. Pass. So they kind of are in a spot where they need to use the Verdict. They just drew it. Alright, well they don't have land in their hand, which is a little bit awkward for me. I am going to use Aether Vial's ability. I'm going to put a ringleader in play. We hit a Snoop. Hello, Snoopy. I'm going to say no to Aether Vial. Oh, Boil? Oh, hello. Hello, Boil. That was a really good draw step there. I'll say that much. Okay, well, I can't imagine my opponent comes back from casting Supreme Verdict, I boil you. But maybe. Maybe. Yep, that happens. I could get greedy and wait for them to fetch and path, which 100% could happen. Oh, that's a Sling-Gang. I think this game is done. Let's go! Let's go! Too many ringleaders. Blue-white can't keep up. We had the boil anyway, and they were so done. Whew! Sorry to Meckertal. Obviously, I'm not trying to rub it in on them. But man, it feels good. That feels good. All right. We have made it into the top 8. We are the 3rd seed coming in. Looks like 2x2s made it, so good thing I was able to pull out that last one, or it could have gotten a little hairy there for me. In fact, unfortunately, the guy I just beat got 9th, so condolences to Meckertal. Apologize for that. Never liked to Dream Crush. Was hoping they'd make it in, but it's not the case. So, yeah. We're going to play the top 8 out, though, and see if we can qualify for this Pro Tour. That'd be sweet. I like where I'm at. I don't think anyone's targeting Goblins. I haven't seen any Plague Engineers in the entire event. I haven't seen any... I mean, Blue-Red Prowess scares me, so I'd like to avoid that matchup. But other than that, I like where we're at. I'd actually like to play against E-Tron. I feel like E-Tron's a really good matchup for the deck. We'll see, but I do like that matchup, so if I could get that pairing, that'd be cool. Again, all the blue-white decks feel pretty easy, so would be happy to play those, but, you know, it's still Magic. I could just mold a 5 and lose. It can always happen, so we'll see what actually happens here, but hoping for some good luck. It'd be cool. I think the top 2 qualify, so if I win 2 rounds, I'm going to the Pro Tour. Whew. All right, let's get this thing kicked off. Do we win the die roll in the top 8? Unfortunately, this isn't like paper where if I'm the higher seed, I get to be on the play. And nope, did not win the die roll, which is unfortunate. This is quite a good hand, though. I mean, I'm certainly going to take this. I'm not mulliganing. Going to probably shock and play. Hey, it's a fan. That's awesome. I'm going to keep. Opponent leads on Stomping Ground. So the assumption here is the red-green deck. I could Thoughtseize. I'm not really scared of any of their turn 2 plays. If it's Jund, that could be really bad for me. But such is life. We're gonna make the plays we have. If it's the red-green deck and they didn't lead on a 1, that I am quite happy with. Okay. Still could be the red-green deck, just keeping only 3 drops. Which I don't know if that's good or bad for me, because I don't have a particularly fast draw, so it might be bad for me. I guess we'll find out. But I do have 2 Aether Vials, which is always good. I'm going to lead on a Thoughtseize. See what opponent has here. It could also be like a Team of Reclamation deck or something along those lines. Oh, Scapeshift. Do not love that. Well, they could have censored that. I'm kind of surprised they didn't, actually. How bad is Renin 6 for me? It's pretty bad. Scapeshift is pretty slow here, though. I generally have a really hard time with Renin 6, but this hand isn't actually bad against Renin 6. I think I'm going to take their I Kill You card. I think that's where I'm at. And we're going to put this Aether Vial into play. I expect this to get remanded or censored, and that's just part of the card. It's going to happen some amount of the time. We could have taken Ren there. I think I'm happy we didn't. Opponent not remanding or censoring there is interesting to me. I don't think those cards are going to be on most of the game. In fact, I can play in a way that makes them not on. So that is interesting to me. I don't think it was wrong, but definitely interesting. Alright, they played their Scalding Turn and passed. Well, we're not casting spells, so this is fine. And nothing about their hand so far suggests they can really stop my Aether Vial happening. Or like the Aether Vial activations. The deck has outs to Cryptic Bounce, but that's not online quite yet. Auntie's Hovel's a good one. Stops them from censoring me. I'm gonna Vial in my Snoop main phase. Which is a weird play, but I'm doing it because if there's a Goblin on top of my deck, I'd like to clear my library. If it gets censored, whatever. Fine with that. Yep. Snoop. Alright, War Marshal. That was about as good as it could have gone for us there, I think. We got a Crater Maker underneath, too. That's not bad either. I do imagine this one will get remanded. I would guess. Yep, okay. That's fine. I mean, that works out for me. I cast off the top of my library and got a nice remand in there. Or got a nice card draw. Actually, because I have Aether Vials, that works out very well. And they're cycling Censor. That makes sense to me. I imagine we'll play a Renin 6 now. I will just be casting 2s. Like, I'm going to take... this one's going up to 4. That's happening. Oh, they didn't even play the Ren. Interesting. So, here's how we're going to do this. We don't have a 3 in hand, and we know we're not drawing one. So, we're going to take this up to 3, but we're also... with the trigger on the stack, we're going to activate it. Oh, I always yielded. So this one I would like to say yes. This one I would like to activate and then say yes. It's an important Aether Vial trick. Good thing we stacked it the way we did. That's strong. Okay, now we're going to let this resolve, and I will say yes. Again, I'm going to put Snoop in play. Opponents had a Ren and they just haven't used it the entire game, which I think is interesting. Okay. I think this is a good spot to crack this and draw the land, honestly. Because then it comes into play untapped, which is pretty nice. And I'm going to play the Crater Maker. I don't think Scapeshift has main deck sweepers. If they have a main deck sweeper, that's good on them. Okay. I'm actually would rather have my spells get censored than basically anything else, like than them cycle censor, honestly. Because I just don't want them to get to Scapeshift range. That's where we're at. Well, we have the kill on board if opponent can't interact. So we'll see what happens with that. We know they have a Mystic or a Misty Rainforest. We do know that. And given that I have the kill here, I am not going to pay, and I'm only going to pop the first one, or up the first one, because I want to do this both with Aether Vial. Yep. Okay. And then, no. Am I going to pay for Echo? I am not. Nope. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to start by playing another Snoop. Okay, they've renamed it Snoop. Now, the second they go to fetch, they die. So let's see if they do fetch. I would guess that they do not. But I'm going to pass turn anyway. They're thinking about it. Yep, they made the right play. They didn't fetch, which definitely right there. Yeah, definitely right there. It is a little unfortunate we won't get to draw this land. Yeah, they're attacking. That's fine. Kill the Gobbo. That's fine. Alright, they have 3 cards in hand. So we're going to do this end step. This is the power of Aether Vial here. I'm going to go ahead and put Harbinger on top of my library. Or in my hand, I guess. Yep. And then I'm going to activate. I was thinking about it. Anything that draws them a card, they can now use Mystic Sanctuary. Ooh. Okay. If they're doing something, that's fine with me. Yeah, that wasn't it, dude. We got an oops from Juju Bean. Alright, fair enough. Well, given that they went for Mystic Sanctuary there and didn't hit, I'm thinking that this is going to be safe. There is a real argument here to wait, but I'm not going to. They could just be trying to bait me, which 100% is possible, but I'm just going to make the play. They have a way to stop it. They have a way to stop it. Okay. Well, now they just actually need a bolt. I guess They can just Cryptic Bounce. Yeah, okay. That's a play. That works. I don't want to draw Kiki, so I'm going to stop in my upkeep and Violin Ringleader. I would actually like to draw Thoughtseize here. That would be ideal. And given... no, because now I can... Yeah, I'm not going to do this one. I'm going to activate with this one on the stack and see what I hit. I want full information for the next one. I know I'm drawing Kiki off this trigger at least. And a Chieftain. Which doesn't quite kill. I think I'm going to not use this one now. No. Okay. Let's snoop it up. Or Chieftain, sorry. I'm going to play... Oh, I got to get on my upkeep. I should have drawn for turn. Well, so be it. Yeah, that's awkward. Alright, we got Snoop. And we're going to just attack. 2, 5, 7, 10. This is lethal. They need to have a bolt here. They die. Alright. That's a good game 1 win. So, post-board, we get Boils. That's about all we get, but we do get Boils, and that's a pretty strong card. I don't want Relics. Don't like those. I do like Ringleader. I imagine this deck is going to have a bunch of Bolts and Anger the Gods, that type of stuff. Maybe Flame Slashes, all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I want to kind of go down on... Well, I want to go down on removal because there's just nothing to kill. But then past that, I'd like... Boiling Scapeshift is always fun. I'm going to go heavy on 4s, which can really stink against a Remand or Cryptic deck, but also I'm a Cavern of Souls Aether Vial deck, so we'll see how that goes. And Boil's kind of one you can maybe sneak in on their end step, that kind of thing, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to cut a Munitions Expert, which is there's just not that many targets. I might be able to pick off a Ren, but that's about it. They're really not trying to play that kind of game where I need to kill creatures. That makes sense, so we'll see how this goes, but... I like this board plan. Boil's particularly strong against blue Scapeshift decks, believe it or not. And then, of course, we've got our hand disruption, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, if opponent had figured out that Mystic Sanctuary thing, they could have won. They would have needed specifically Scapeshift the next turn to get me, but you know they didn't have it, so there we are. Well, this is a hand. I mean, this hand is a keep. I'm gonna put my Aether Vial into play first. Still, I always prioritize the Vial. I've played enough games where there's very few decks I would prioritize the Inquisition against. Mine is just not that fast at the moment, and Vial is just something I want. Oh well, that's a pretty good draw. Yeah, like that. Did it force negation in? No, okay. I was gonna say that would be odd. So now basically everything's a good draw. Land's a good. The only thing that's a bad draw in my deck at the moment is probably Aether Vial or second Kiki. So I have 4 bad draws. Everything else seems to be pretty good. And they have 2 islands in play. And we have a Boil in our hand. So yeah, that's you'll love to see it. I'm gonna always yield again. We don't have as many tricky shenanigans this game. Okay, Matron's a good draw. I'm going to start off with an Inquisition. I would like to take their interaction for this Boil if possible. They're Growth Spiraling. Okay, Growth Spiral's good here, but it does mean I get to resolve my Ink, which is strong. And they're just basically cold to this. I'm going to take their Opt. I know that looks like a weird play, but I'm trying to Boil them. I mean, that's what I'm going for. I could also take the Gust, because that plays around Boil, but it doesn't play around Boil that good, believe it or not. It just kind of plays around Boil, if that makes sense. So I think taking their Opt there, just to stop them from, you know, hitting more lands, finding actual hard counters for the Boil is going to be the way to go. And we are putting combo pressure on them. That said, you know, they have Lightning Bolts and Anger of the Gods in their hand, so it's not really that much pressure. They can easily stop it. But it's still pressure. Okay, we drew the land. That's strong. That is strong. Alright. So now we're just going to put a lot of pressure on them. I get Snoop here. I have Harbinger already. And all of this is going to be done off Aether Vial, so... yeah. I'm going to end a turn, Snoop them. Hopefully they tap out and cast some stuff here, and we can just hit them with the hard Boil. This is a Mystic Sanctuary deck. I don't think... Yeah, I was going to say, I think they're going to get blue lands, because they need to turn on Mystic Sanctuary, which is why this is such a particularly brutal sideboard card against that style of deck. So we know... Okay, they got a Mystic Sanctuary. So I know their hand is Aether Gust, Anger of the Gods, Lightning Bolt, blank, and I know they're drawing out. So that's a thing. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put Snoop into play. It's going to get bolted 100% of the time. That's fine. This is the Snoop man. I'm drawing Swamp. Swamp's a fine draw. Oh man, opponent waited? That is... I don't like that if I'm opponent. Yeah, you need to do this with the trigger on the stack, or I think the game just ends. Yeah, oh, they let this happen. Okay. Interesting. Alright, I don't want to draw Auntie's Hovel, so I'm going to play the fetch, and then we're just going to pass. When they go to Bolt, when they go to Bolt, we are going to Harbinger. They'll Aether Gust. And then they get boiled. Okay, so their hand is Bolt, Gust, Opt, Anger. I imagine they're going to start with the Anger. That is my guess. Okay, they didn't Anger. That's interesting. Let's see what's on top of my library. All right. Thanks, Moto. Appreciate it. They bolt in response. This is actually the best case scenario for me. Yep. So now I get to put Goblin Ringleader on top of my deck. And now we just have to hope. So their hand is Anger of the Gods, Aether Gust, Opt. And I am hoping that opponent... yeah. I'm hoping that opponent misses off the Opt. And then just has to Aether Gust this. And then I just draw it and just hit them with it. And then they're stuck on one land. Yep, so they're going to Opt first. That makes sense. Bottom. Okay. Gust. Yep. Yep, I want to top. And, yep, I'm going to use Aether Vial's ability. And now I get to play around Censor too. Boil you. Oh my god, they had another Gust? Okay. Okay, opponent. I get it. So, their hand is Anger of the Gods at the moment. That's what they have. We've got a Boil coming. They know this. They are well aware there's a Boil in their future. Cycling a Triome, that makes sense to me. Definitely don't want to put that one in play with a boil coming up down the pipeline. Alright, I am actually going to use this. It kind of kills it, but it lets Kiki hit play. I mean, they don't have Cryptic right now. If they drew a counterspell off their random cycle that's not censored, good for them. They didn't. That's good for me. And now we start getting the values. So much values. Yeah, I'm going to get the ringleader now. Wanted to draw that a few turns ago, but here we are. Yeah, and just I don't know how opponent comes back from this. It's going to be tough. Flame slash Kiki. Okay. That was probably the best thing they could do there, but I mean, they're low on life. They don't even hit their land drop. Definitely no on this. I do want to fetch ahead of time. I would like to do that. I guess I'm out of basics. Oh no, I'm out of swamps. I don't have a mountain. So I'll shock. My life total is quite high. Oh, opponent says GG's. GG's. Oh my god, we hit 4 things. That's very strong. I guess I put the War Marshal into play. I don't know. I don't think it really matters. Opponent's going to have a heck of a time getting out of this, I would imagine. Yep, so no land for anger. We got a full grip. Sling-Gang's lethal on its own. Yeah. I mean, that's why I play Boyle in the metagame. These Mystic Sanctuary decks, they have a hard time with that one. Alright. Looks like we were one of the last ones to finish up there. So this round's starting. We're ready to go. Looks like we got one more win, and I'm qualified for a Pro Tour, so that'd be really cool. Yeah, obviously gonna need to pull it off, but I like where we're at. And everyone left is still X1, so yeah, you know, a lot of good players still. Well, not a lot, but definitely everyone left is a good player. I mean, you don't get to this part in the event without knowing what you're doing, so it's not going to be easy. But the deck feels good. I feel good about it. It's been treating me well, so if it could hold for one more round, that'd be great. All right, some notifications coming through. It doesn't look like the top 2 qualify anymore, so maybe that's just a lie. So I'm going to need to win this one for sure if I want to queue anyway. This hand's very expensive. I am on the play. But yeah, this hand's very expensive. I don't have lands. I don't even have early plays. I don't have combo. No disruption. I think it's an easy mulligan. Whew. This hand's also pretty bad. Still no early plays. Still don't have lands. I'm going to keep this one against my better judgment, I think. I'm going to bottom Kiki. That's the one I'm very far away from casting. I'm just going to put Bloodstained Mire into play, tapped, and pass. We are praying to draw a land at this point. Or not. It's not tapped. I'm putting Bloodstained Mire in play. Probably going to fetch a tap duel. See what happens. Do I want to fetch? Blue decks give me the, like, blue plus, turn plus not play anything gives me the impression that this could be blue-white control. Given that, I think it is right to get a Blood Crypt. I'm not working off a lot of information, but honestly, the chances of it lowering my draw for a land isn't big enough for me to not get the tap Blood Crypt there. And we drew the land, so that's good. We definitely needed that if we were gonna have a chance in this game. But we got the Crater Man. Crater Man's out here. He's ready to go. He's probably gonna get bolted. It looks like he's getting bolted. That would be unfortunate. Ketria looks like Scape Shift again. Okay. Not an amazing hand against Scape Shift by any means. Would like the combo, would have liked the Vial, but it certainly plays. I have a chance. Okay, now we have combo. So I'm gonna go to combat. We're gonna play around Censor if we can. If they remand us, they remand us. That's life. And I'm going to put Mr. Snootman in play. Okay, got remanded. That was probably going to happen anyway. Yeah. Kind of thought that might happen. So here we are. Snootman. Going to have to wait a turn, but that's fine. We are... Oh, man. I was actually thinking, too, the only thing off the top of my deck I could clear there was a Tarfire, but it'd be really nice to clear it if I could. And then, of course, I draw a Tarfire. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, that's not ideal, certainly. But it's okay. I'm not just going to concede. Would have definitely liked to draw a land there. That would have been much better than what I did draw. Looks like we're getting remanded again, which, not great, but it does feel like what is happening. Oh, Archmage's Charm. Well, that's fine. I accept that. We are starting to do damage to the opponent, which is good. Is it enough? I don't know. Okay, this is probably Scape Shift, but it's not clearly Scape Shift. I would not say that this is clearly Scape Shift I'm playing against. I could use the Tarfire here. They put Archmage's Charm on top. I think whatever I play is getting Crypticed. I'm just gonna Tarfire them. We're gonna need to be aggressive. We drew another Tarfire, so 2 turns in a row. The Snoop would have been great. It wasn't. Yeah. So we're getting Crypticed. I don't have a good play against this. I'm gonna cast my Goblin Chieftain. It's going to get Cryptic. I assume counter draw. Counter tap would also be not good for me. But better than a lot of my alternatives, I guess. But yeah, now we know they have an Archmage Charm, so, a Vial or basically anything would be good here. Uro, okay, that's going to make it really, really hard for me to kill them with damage, so that's good. That's good for me. If they missed their land here, okay, they didn't. But there's a Cryptic coming, so that's bad for me. And they have the Archmage Charm up again. So, again, not looking great. Would really like to draw a Cavern. Okay, we didn't. We did not draw a Cavern. They can't flash back Uro, though, so we do at least have that going for us. And we are starting to do work on their life total. Certainly not out of the woods yet, but we're doing work. Or, I don't know. We're making progress, I guess. Fetch land here would be really bad. Especially one that gets green. Okay, Field of the Dead. That doesn't put Uro in play. That's at least good for me. I am going to shock them again. I need to just be using my mana. I'm pretty low on resources here. Harbinger, that's not good. I don't like that as a draw. And I'm going to have a really hard time beating these 2/2s that are going to start coming. Okay, well, they missed their land, so that's good for me. Still no green source. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to cast this. I assume I'm getting Cryptic counter-drawed, and that's going to stink, but I have to be casting my spells. Yep, okay. Tough, very tough. As soon as this Uro comes back, this game's over, so if they draw a land, I think I'm dead, and if they don't draw a land, yeah, okay, that's, yep. That just about seals the deal. That's going to seal it up. Yeah, not coming back from this one, unfortunately. Gonna be tough. Yeah, Uro comes back. We're still stuck on lands. We don't really have a clear path to victory. I'm not going to show them anymore. Just going to pack it in. I know my hand doesn't beat this. It's just, I mean, they just put 10 power into play. So, gonna be tough to beat that. Yup. I think there's a chance I'm supposed to board in Relica Progenitus. I think that's a little strange, but I think it's actually right. I'm going to board in 2. I think this is not a good Crater Maker matchup, and it's also not a good War Marshal matchup. I'm going to board it back into Crater Maker just so I have plays. I'll go like this, actually. Yeah. I could board out... You know what? War Marshal is going to be better than Crater Maker. I could board out another Munitions Expert. I want some outs to stuff whatever it is, so I'm going to leave 2 in just to be able to tutor 4. And again, I have a lot more Ringleaders in, and it got bad. Like, they got worse by quite a bit based on how I boarded, so kind of hoping to get a little bit lucky, but it is what it is. Okay, this hand is good. This is a good hand. I have double hand disruption into Conspicuous Snoop, or I can Snoop before that, but I should get to have a Snoop in play, presumably. Okay, they just have... they have 2 bolts and 2 gusts, so maybe we're not going to have a Snoop in play. I definitely want them gusting instead of using bolt. So we'll go about it that way. That's a Scalding Tarn that's in play. So if I play Snoop, it just 100% gets bolted, and I don't love that. Yeah, this hand is awkward. I need to get the Snoop in play. I mean, that's where I'm at. I think I'm not going to use the Hovel yet. I'm just going to play a Mountain and pass. And I'm probably just going to play the Munitions Expert on their end step and just start attacking. This is a Team Reclamation deck based on what I'm seeing here. Vantress is a giveaway. Blaststone's kind of a giveaway. I was trying to figure out what it was. It's not Scape Shift. It is Reclamation. Obviously, Boil would be a great draw, kind of at all points. Yeah, I'm just going to put the Munitions Expert in play. If this gets gusted, that's a win for me. I imagine opponent's just going to ignore it. Yep, that seems right. Nope. Alright, let's Thoughtseize opponent. See what they're working with now. Growth Spiral, okay. Okay. Mystic Sanctuary in play. So now they just have 20 things. I don't really want to get Crypticted. That sounds pretty rough. But Bolt's also horrible for me. I think I have to take the Bolt. I don't like it, but I think that's where I'm at. And now they'll Gust, and I'll draw Snoop. But at least I have the chance... Oh, well. I'm drawing a land next turn, so that's not great. I was going to say, at least I have the chance to cast stuff off the top of my library here. And I will. I'm going to keep putting this on top. If it gets Gusted main phase, that'll be fine. And the good news is we get 2 looks here. Oh, man. They're going to Gust in my draw step. That's the worst scenario, I think. Yeah, don't love that. Oh, they drew a Bolt. That's even worse. So now I know their hand is just Cryptic, Gust. And I'm drawing a bad card, so I don't want to draw that. We're looking for Boil here. I mean, I don't really know how I win outside of that at this point. No Aether Vials, none of my card draw goblins. I'm going to need a Boil here. Opponent is going to start pulling way, way ahead. And that's just what's happening here. So, we're going to, and also because of Cryptic, we're going to have a really hard time even generating any value, which is tough. It's very tough. Alright, another land. That ain't it. I guess we can just attack for 1. That's a thing we can do. We'll get in there. And I guess I should have played Blackleaf Cliffs, just because it comes into play tapped no matter what, and I could shock Blood Crypt theoretically. The problem is we're just sitting. I mean, every play we're going to play is going to get Cryptic. So I think the best thing we can do here is just wait till we draw 2 spells, which is not where you want to be against Teamer, believe me. Oh, I didn't even play my land. That's horrible. That is a big-time punt. But opponent's not doing anything, and I think that's because they are respecting Boil. Yep. I mean, I'm still just going to wait. Wait for them to do something. Definitely going to wait. We are at least doing damage to them. It's not enough. It's not a good clock, but it's what we have, so it's what we're going to go with, if that makes sense. Tough to beat a deck that, you know, has counter spells, draws 3 bolts, 2 gusts. Yeah. This has been tough for us. I'm just never, like, I haven't drawn my Caverns, I never drew my Vial, so just really haven't been able to get around what's happening here, which, you know, that happens some other times. We also flooded a little bit in a 24. Ooh. Well, that ain't bad. Okay. Okay, that plays. It's only 2 Stone Rains at the moment. I think what I do is play my land here tapped and pass. And again, if they want to blink, we get to boil them. So that would be good. Would certainly be good. I mean, they just have 2 Aether Gusts up, so it's pretty unlikely we get a shot for this. But if they like cast a wreck, I mean, they're gonna taste it, I guess. Ooh, Thoughtseize is a good one. Okay, so let's start with the Thoughtseize. Let's go to combat. Get this 1 point in. Now I'm going to Thoughtseize. Now they can't gust this, and it lets me take the Cryptic, which is good. Oh, they're casting Cryptic, huh? Okay. I would like to cast... yeah. I'm going to let that happen. I think actually waiting on the boil is fine. I can use this to get a ringleader and start actually doing, like, getting some value. We finally played through the Cryptic, which is strong. Yeah, I want ringleader. We really would like to hit here. It would be pretty bad for us if we didn't. I could have gotten Sling-Gang. That's certainly a direction I could have gone there. Oh, 3 hits. That's huge. That was exactly what we needed there. It's just a nice refill of value. So, we're now tapped out. Opponent could punish us if they had something good here, but they haven't really had anything to punish with yet, which is good for us, certainly. Okay, that's a wreck. That's not good for us. Certainly, that's definitely not good for us. I'll say that much. But... could be... Ooh, what are we doing here? Bolting something? I guess you're bolting my ringleader. That makes sense. Yep, okay. So let's lead with a Snoop. Well, that's awkward. I don't really want to draw that. I'm going to go to combat. Attack with these 2. I imagine they're going to block. That is my guess. Yeah, and now I think they're going to pop the Blast Zone. And when they do that, I will boil them. They might not do that. They've played around boil pretty well. Nope, they did it. Okay. So now it's time to boil them. Now we get to really cut their mana off, which I think is strong. Doesn't like... It's not perfect, but it hit, you know, they're down to 6 mana. My board's gone. They're at 10, but I've got a decent hand. They don't have very much lands at all. You know, they can make 6 mana, but that's certainly not going to kill me. An Uro here, yeah, that's pretty annoying. That's pretty annoying, especially if they find a blue source off this. But I'm certainly not in a bad spot here. I would love to draw a Cavern of Souls at some point. I know I'm drawing Black Leaf Cliffs, unfortunately. Which is definitely unfortunate. I think I'm going to lead with a Matron. Yep, this is going to get gusted, almost for sure. I'm going to top. And now I'm playing Snoop. This will also get gusted, which is really annoying. But now we have at least played through the gusts. Okay. I'm going to top that. Play my land. So, opponent's on 3 cards. A little stuck on mana. They're definitely going to play Uro next turn. I think that much is obvious. Yeah, I want to draw the Snoop. I think that's just the best draw I have next turn. So, and the Snoop gets to cast Matron if it resolves, which it might not, but it's not clear that opponent has a way to beat what's happening here. They've used, they've used 3 bolts already and 2 gusts. I don't know how many they have. And this wreck is certainly annoying. Okay. We got another island. Don't love that. We casting something big? Factor Fiction? Okay. I'm going to go spells versus lands here, I think is the best way to go about this. You can either have the lands or you can have the spells. And they took the spells. Okay, I'm fine with that. I know they have Force Negation, which doesn't stop what I'm about to do necessarily, so hopefully they don't have a counterspell for Snoop. Specifically, Aether Gust would be very annoying. They have the 3rd Gust, because of course they do. I'm going to top it. I know it gets countered. I guess it just doesn't even really matter. Yeah, opponent drawing 3 bolts and 3 gusts is definitely tough. I don't think I really have a chance of coming back from this. I'm never really going to get a spot to boil again. I'm just going to continually draw Snoop and it's not going to do anything, which is pretty annoying. So it's where we're at, but it's what I need to do. Okay, they're foffing. This one's less interesting. I think I do this maybe. We're for sure going to take the top pile. They did take the top pile. I knew they would. My Snoop gets countered here, and there's just nothing I can do about it. Never seeing Cavern or a Vial really put the choke on me there. Yeah, counter draw, that's even worse. Well, I need to play a card here. If I don't play a card, I'm going to die. The really frustrating thing is that I know they have a counterspell for my next thing, so I just am not beating it. I don't really have a better play, though. Yep. Yep. Goblins couldn't beat Teamer Wreck. And Field of the Dead's going to start doing work now. I am now in a spot where I'm about to take lethal damage. Opponent just has had 7 cards in hand the whole game. Yeah, more zombies. Yep. I'm drawing Ringleader, and I know they have Archmage's Charm in their hand, so it doesn't even get me out of this. Which is pretty annoying. Yep. Well, that's tough. I think there's a world I boarded wrong. Honestly, I've never played against this deck in Modern. I know it kind of exists, but it's not something I've ever played against, so I'm not going to blame it on that. That's not why I lost the game, that I haven't played against it. I lost the game because the opponent drew well and played extremely well. They fetched great at the beginning to play around Boyle. They never left themselves vulnerable to any of my plays really at all. They slammed the door shut as soon as they could. They were dealing with mana troubles for a large portion of the game. I think they just played excellent. And sometimes your opponents play that, they just beat you. I mean, that happens. That's magic. And congrats to Lava Ridge on this win. It's very impressive. This deck this deck they're playing looks extremely good. So I'm going to cast my spell. They are going to Archmage's Charm it, or Cryptic it, or really any of 100 spells they could have. And I'll concede the game. All right. And Lava Ridge destroyed me. Well, there we go. You know, that's a tough loss. Obviously, wanted to qualify for the Pro Tour, but it is what it is. I'm going to have to settle for 600 play points, 100 treasure chests, and a Core Set 2021 booster. Or set, I guess. I don't know. I'll get a set or something. Not a big deal. Going to take us a while to get the chest delivered to me. I have to wait for the event to finish. So I'll come back and open it at the end of this video for you guys. And yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by and watching. Alright everyone, back for the opening. Just see what happens with all the chests. We're just going to crack them all, see what we get. See if we can pull anything sweet. Might as well. Good bit of end a big event like that. So let's see what happens. All at once. Play points? How many we get? Oh man, looks like a lot of stuff. It's taking a minute to load. 1,200 play points. It's very many play points. We got a lot of forests. Why do we have so many forests? I don't want that many forests. Alright, we got one Hooded Blightfang, just infinite lands. What are with all these lands? A weird negate? I don't understand why I got so many basics, but so be it, I guess. Karn Scion of Urza, that's much worse than other Karn. Buvak the Grand or something? I don't know. Gisella's kind of sweet. Oh, a Cruxa. Cruxa's cool. Probably not worth very much, but it is cool. Ral, Phyrexian Obliterator. Ooh, a Wormcoil Engine. Wormcoil Engine's nice. Inkmoth Nexus, Birds of Paradise, that's cool. Alms Collector's sweet in EDH. Probably not worth much on MTGO, but that's fine. Yeah, this looked like it went pretty bad, if I'm being honest. Probably shouldn't have opened this many chesties. Oh well. Oh, Grafdigger's Cage is good. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff that's not worth anything. Cool. Very cool. I guess I'll sell it and see what I can get from it, but probably not going to get that much. Well, it is what it is. Ooh, a Steam Vent. Steam Vent's cool. Trinisphere. It's probably also not worth anything, but definitely cool. Morphos and Remand is cool. Arcane Signet. Just a lot of commander cards. I don't think they're worth anything online, but that's what we got. Alright. Thanks everyone for joining us again. Remember, if you like this video, you can subscribe to the YouTube. We'd really appreciate it. It's tough to make content in this this world, so every subscriber helps. If you want to see more videos, we'd really appreciate it. Also, remember to like and comment if you like what you saw. If you have any questions on why I made plays, I'm happy to answer them. And feel free to follow my podcast. It's called Up to Date MTG, available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and basically wherever else you can find podcasts. And feel free to hit us up on Twitter on Up to Date MTG as well. Happy to answer questions on the podcast, all of that. And with that, thank you guys for joining us.